Hello and welcome to the Overwatch League show for the Galago Boys channel. I am Sam and I'm joined here by Owen.
Good evening.
And week 2 is over.
It is indeed.
How much were you able to watch?
I got loads more of this one than I did the last one.
Really?
I caught a lot, which I was really happy with. I didn't catch Thursdays while it was live, but I was watching a bit of work, which I probably shouldn't have done. But I watched some at work in my downtime during the rebroadcast, so that was cool.
Nice.
Yeah, no, I was happy with how much I got. Yeah.
I unfortunately wasn't able to watch as much this
Really?
this week. Yeah,
I suppose you're going to get weeks like that, though, aren't you? Like some weeks you're just going to naturally be busier, so you just can't catch as much.
Yeah.
I was gutted that I didn't get much of the first week, but I'm more than made up for it this week.
Yeah, there was like some important games that I definitely stayed up for, but I think they were at a more EU-friendly time this week, the ones that I wanted to see.
Okay.
So I think the only game that I wanted to see that I didn't get to see was the London against the Spark. And that was pretty much it, really.
All right, okay.
So I
Yeah,
saw the ones I wanted to.
I think I watched all of the games that were on Saturday and Sunday. So that was pretty cool. But I think it mostly helped that this weekend I was busy playing RuneScape because it was double XP weekend.
Yeah, so you were up for anything.
So I just had I was rotating between Netflix and the Overwatch League on the one screen and just RuneScape on my other screen. So I got a lot of things watched.
It's not a bad way to go.
Yeah, might do it next weekend.
Yeah, there was, I suppose, the big thing we need to start with has got to be Shanghai, doesn't it?
Shanghai.
They've finally done it.
Finally. 0 and 48 or 68 was
something
out of the window.
ridiculous.
It's out the window now. I'm so happy for them.
I'm happy for them, but at the same time, I'm a little bit upset.
Yeah.
Like,
what do you mean you're a little bit upset?
Oh,
Are you upset because you didn't get to see it?
Yeah, I didn't get to see it, but at the same time, it was kind of just funny, wasn't it?
I mean,
there was an aspect.
Yeah, there was an aspect of like comedy to it. It was almost like they were doing it deliberately.
Yeah.
But no, it was. Oh my god, the casters, the crowd, the players. Oh my god, everyone got like Gregory was crying backstage.
I mean, I saw some of the fans were crying.
And I'd imagine some of the players that were dropped from last season or replaced from last season. I bet even them, they must have felt some proud for the Shanghai just finally getting that win.
Although
after so long.
Yeah, I mean we haven't even said it yet, but they did beat Dallas.
Yeah,
so,
but
not Dallas, Boston even. What am I thinking? But they beat Boston.
I mean, yeah.
So just thought I'd mention the team they managed to beat.
Yeah, I mean it doesn't really matter who they beat, to be honest. Your first win is the most difficult.
Yeah,
as it's been proven.
Imagine if their first win was against New York.
Yeah, it took them 43 games to get their first win.
Something insane like that, yeah.
So, I think it's 43 Overwatch games, Overwatch League games. On their 43rd, so now they're 1-42. But it'll only be time before they're 43 and 42.
If you say so.
Eventually, I don't know. The first win, they've got to rally behind that.
Yeah. I think there's a second sort of nice story out of it with Gamsu, who, from what I've seen from the highlights, played really well.
He did really well,
so,
and he played a huge part in that win.
The story,
especially going against his old team.
Yeah, the reason for I think it's more important for Gamsu is because he was traded and without his own knowledge, he just woke up on the day, and then they was like, "Yeah, you're at Shanghai now." And it's like,
it came as a complete surprise to him.
okay.
So
I suppose it's sort of really nice for him to just get one over the team that sort of just went, off we go.
Definitely. Well, there was an interview, wasn't it, where he was sad that it happened. Like that he wish he at least got told that it was happening. But he sucked it up and just went for it and gave it his all. He played such a good game. Mm-hmm. It was a really enjoyable game to watch, and I don't know if just because half of that was the crowd just making that game what it was, and the casters for it was
everyone was
emotional.
Shanghai,
have you at least seen the highlights of like what you've seen the crowd, the crowd's reaction and stuff?
The crowd go nuts.
Absolutely so insane. Good. It was one of the greatest things to be a part of. But even Twitch chat was going insane as well. Like, it was mental. It was so good. Like, that's one of the things that I love about like gaming communities. It's like half of that crowd wouldn't have even been Shanghai fans. Like, but they all rallied and got around it and cheered and screamed.
When it does the pan of the audience after the game's over, I'm pretty sure like there's a guy at the front sort of dancing around, running in a circle, and I'm pretty sure he's in a Boston top.
Oh yeah, probably.
Like,
that wouldn't be surprising. They absolutely loved it, and everyone rallied behind it, and it made the evening. It was fantastic.
Yeah,
so good.
But some serious news came out of that game just beforehand. Because
here we go. The excuses.
No, it's not really excuses. It had an effect, a very short-lived effect on everybody. But so Fusions was signed to Boston as one of the sort of two-way players, so that he can play for their Contenders team and their Overwatch League team. And what is it? 2 games he played.
Mm-hmm.
And then they had him listed on the roster to start against Shanghai. And then minutes before, I think it was, an official just came up to them and sort of just went, Fusion's not eligible, pick someone else.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I can't imagine it literally went down like that. I'd imagine it probably, there's got to be some exaggeration in the truth there.
A little, but...
that's probably what happened in general.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine it would have been like literally... He was sat there waiting in the lobby, and then they're like, "Yeah, you can't play. Get someone else."
But I think he was definitely at least backstage with them, they were definitely intending to send him out. And
oh yeah, definitely.
But then, which I think somebody said that they'd submitted like the team sheet kind of thing, essentially, at least an hour or so before that, and they still hadn't been told, like until it was maybe 5-10 minutes before.
Yeah,
so
I don't know,
really
but I don't think that I don't think that takes anything away from the win.
No, definitely not. But I think it's just a sort of overarching effect and sort of a clear lack.
It's not going to have. It would have. A player playing would have made a difference.
Yeah,
but as it stands, I don't think it. You can. I think it was. Oh, I don't know the way that they said it. After the game and stuff like that, it's like it just makes it sound like they're just making excuses and being sore losers.
Yeah,
and just putting a downer on the whole thing. It's just like just suck it up, and you've just lost. Yeah. We don't care the reasons.
You just don't want to be the first team to lose to the team without a win, do you?
Yeah,
but
I suppose, but
I can also get why they were mad.
Poor sportsmanship making an excuse.
Yeah,
in my opinion, in my opinion, the timing and all that felt like it was more of an excuse rather than genuinely just letting people know.
Yeah, because it's not like they had a game after that either. If they had a game after that, the same weekend, I would have got it that they brought it out straight away because they wanted it fixed as soon as possible.
Yeah.
But they didn't have any games. And that rule that prevented Fusions from playing for the rest of the stage has already been overruled. Sort of, or at least clarified better. So we can play more games now. So, sure, it made the change they wanted, but timing, probably not the best.
Yeah. Oh well.
But moving on from Shanghai, the big story of, I mean, hell, it could probably end up being the big story of the stage.
Yeah, probably.
London.
Well, there's no other team that's not won yet. So, well, Valiant haven't won this season.
Somehow.
Or Justice, Washington Justice as well.
Yeah.
They've not won this stage, but
yeah.
Well, actually, I guess Washington Justice could be the new Shanghai. Theoretically, they could go 0-28 or whatever it is.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't complain. We just don't like their coach, so. But
yeah.
To start off the weekend, we had Washington against London.
London's first win.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
You didn't catch any of it, did you?
I did not catch it live, but I watched the rebroadcast. Or most of the rebroadcast, I think.
From when I was watching it, at least to begin with, London were so poor, especially in the first map. Like, the first round of the first map was Busan. They didn't touch the point. They sort of just danced around it. They didn't even touch
it just seems to be Busan in a nutshell, to be honest.
Yeah, but it sort of seemed like they were waiting for something that never came. They just, I don't know if they were sort of waiting for the right ultimate combo, if they were waiting to see if they could trigger someone else's ultimate, or something like that. Nothing seemed to click for them in that first round. And they contested it maybe a couple times, but it was just 100-0 for Washington, and I thought that was going to be the beginning of a bad day for London, in all honesty. But somehow they managed to.
I don't know. Yeah, they got their win.
Yeah.
I don't really. It's the same with the football team that I'm a fan on. I don't really care how they get the win.
Yeah.
As long as they get the win, I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
As long as it's not like blatant cheating and things like that. Like I'm not down for that. But if it's a dirty win, like if it's messy, if it's not clean, I don't mind. It's a win. A win's a win.
Sometimes you need them.
Huh? Yeah, definitely.
But then, after London scraped through in a 5th game win, somehow, still can't quite believe that I'm seeing it really, even though I watched it. Florida beat Philadelphia.
Yep. I did not expect. Well, neither of us predicted that.
No.
Like that wasn't, and not even that, they tied like one of the maps as well. So they only had to play 4. Crazy.
The only thing I can think is, like I said before this, no Boombox, no Pie.
Yeah,
it's the only excuse, because they didn't play Boombox for either of their games last weekend, and they didn't win either of them.
No, they were playing their new Zenyatta guy. Begins with an E. I can't remember his name. Let's see if I can find the name of him. He is called. Give me 2 seconds. Elk.
Yes. Yep.
And he just played Zenyatta on every map.
Yeah,
I don't think he played anything other than Zenyatta.
That's what really confused me. Why wouldn't you play Boombox for that? He is arguably one of the best Zenyatas in the league, I'd say.
I think from what I've seen, he's better than Elk.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Elk's had 92.8% playtime on Zenyatta, and his league rank for healing is 34th.
Oof.
Average per 10 minute, he's 34th in the league.
Oof.
That's
really rough.
It's not fantastic. Whereas if you compare, let's see if I can compare him to Boombox. Get the stats for you. Well, actually, Boombox is 31st in healing per 10.
Oh.
But that might just be a Zenyatta thing because they're both Zenyatta players.
Potentially. I'd hope. Because Boombox he does play well, so.
Yeah. Boombox has way more eliminations per 10 minutes, more final blows, more damage, a bit more healing, and less deaths.
Which,
I don't know.
Overall, is better. I mean, healing would probably be better, but at the same time, is that only Zenyatta's?
No, the healing per 10 that's across all players in the league, not just Zenyatta's.
Yeah, okay, so that's sort of expected then for, I think, to be a bit lower down overall. Yep. But, yeah, I don't think they'll be experimenting with him again next week, is what I'd say.
I don't know, maybe they have faith in it. They might have faith in it, so they do more.
Maybe.
They're playing more.
Or maybe they just sort of thought that these would be 2 easier games and these would be the times to test it. Might have been a bit of overconfidence, potentially.
I don't know.
Oh, God,
I don't know. You can't just expect to do something once and it to work. So if they have faith in it, they'll keep bringing it back. I reckon. But we'll just have to see.
Yeah. But then I'm trying to. Oh God, I've got to mention for their second game. I now hate Dallas. I hate Dallas.
Because of what's Jane.
He's
That annoyed me.
He's got
that really annoyed me.
For people who don't know who Jane is, he's a sort of streamer, YouTuber kind of thing. They're one and the same really these days. But
coach, analyst.
Yeah, he's also a. I think it came out that he's a support coach for Dallas. Like he's specifically on support. And he tweeted beforehand that Dallas will beat Philadelphia because Philadelphia's goats are shit.
That's a quote.
That is... I'm gonna...
Is it a quote or is that a power quote?
That's the...
Did he actually slam the S word?
Let me get it up. So...
that's what she said. My apologies.
Let's see, this is going to be a pain in the ass for me to find. So
it's fine. You don't need to find the exact thing, but that, basically words to that effect were said, and it was very, very unsportsmanlike.
Yeah.
And because of it, I really didn't want Dallas to win.
No, I really did not want him to win either.
Before that point, I had nothing against Dallas. Like they were one of my preferred teams.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't I don't usually go for the winners. I normally go for a local team, which is why I went for London. They just happened to be the winners. You know, I'm not glory hunting or anything.
Yeah.
But then after that, seeing like someone who's so closely has such close ties to that Dallas organization, it didn't feel right to be like saying that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's trashy, I think.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, a little bit of trash talk. Yeah, it's a little bit of trash talk.
Yeah, but there was the Titan player as well who did it kind of with a bit of taste.
Yeah.
The Titans 4-0'd their first game, and then said, "Oh, we're gonna 4-0 every game that we play now."
Yeah.
Which I was fine with that. I was like, oh, it's a bit, it's teasing a bit. It's putting a bit of a competitive edge on it. It's not outright shaming another specific team.
Yeah.
That was just him being really confident and expressing his confidence and in his own team, which is great. That's great for morale, and that's a good sportsmanship way of like saying something like that. Not saying, "Oh, we're gonna beat this team because this team's crap."
Yeah.
So like it's not right, in my opinion. Maybe it is right, but I don't think it is.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't really expect the gamers, Twitch people, YouTubers, they're not the same sort of level for publicity that normal sports sort of personalities and teams are. So I think there may be there's a bit of a learning bit to not go over the line.
Yeah,
so
maybe there's that.
I think
it might come with time.
Yeah, I think it just depends on how much the sort of community accepts it. Which I don't think there was really too much backlash to it.
Hopefully not. I didn't appreciate it. I know a lot of people didn't appreciate it. There might be some people out there who really like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
That it really, and they might have they might have got behind it and be like, oh yeah, I really want Dallas to win just because I want Jane to be right.
Yeah.
But for me, I don't think this is the kind. Yeah. For me, I don't think this is the kind of place for it.
No.
It's just unpleasant overall.
Yeah.
And we've tried. It's still a relatively new esport.
Mm-hmm.
If when you compare it to like Rocket League and things like that.
Yeah.
In League of Legends, so I don't know. I think I would prefer it to have been curbed rather than like encouraged, because he even got interviewed after the game and stuff as well.
Yeah,
like he got a face-to-face interview. He got camera time for it. He got exposure.
That's smugness. Which is something I'm never gonna.
Yeah, which I don't think that's encouraging this kind of behaviour, and I don't want it to be filled. It feels almost WWE kind of level.
Yeah, I get
it's just
where you're coming from. Like they're sort of,
I don't know.
They're using the drama to sort of create a story between the two teams, and now next time they play, they're going to be rivals because of what Jane said. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, I don't know. I hope it ultimately comes to nothing, and there was no malicious intent.
Yeah.
Which I hope there wasn't.
No, I don't think there was.
To be honest.
I don't think there was.
So, yeah. Anyway.
But
New York. Haven't lost a game yet.
Oh.
They're going strong, 4-0.
They're absolutely ridiculous.
I think they're one of the few teams that have played 4 games.
Yeah.
And won all 4. I think there's 6 teams, I think, have played 4 games now.
Yeah.
And they're the only ones to have won all of them. So.
Yeah, the only ones.
Looking good for them, but we already knew that they were a strong team anyway.
They managed to adapt
kind
to
of
expect very well.
Definitely have, yeah. Better than a certain British team.
Yeah, but
who will remain unnamed.
Yeah, they had a very, very close game against the Valiant, which that was a good one to watch. It
would have been nice to see Valiant get the win, but it was fine.
It was some crucial diva bombs winning it, I think, for New York. Well, I mean, overall being better.
Mecco coming through.
Mecco coming through, especially on the last points, as for some of them, really did win it for them. But the drama in their game against Houston coming from Jake, slamming his fist into the table SQC style.
But they got so outclassed.
Oh, they did.
It was like they were playing a group of people who were met in like
open
quick play,
like open
or even that. Yeah,
players.
It was just like could have been. It was they just got absolutely outclassed and outplayed in every single map. It was the. I don't know if It was weird because I don't think Outlaws were necessarily doing anything wrong.
No,
like they were doing the right things at the right times, but just being completely outbrained at every point, which is insane to watch.
Yeah.
That was absolutely crazy. Like there were so many 200 IQ players from NYXL, and then as I think you were pointing out, Jake lost his cool. He just slammed the table with his fist.
Was that was at the halfway point, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was only after the second game. Yeah,
so they still had 2 more to go after that.
Yeah, which again, I don't think he wasn't showing his aggression or anything. There was just his pure frustration. Of he knew that he was doing the best that he can and just could not beat the wall that was NYXL.
He tweeted afterwards, "Just felt outsmarted today. GG's NYXL. We have a lot to learn, it seems."
Yeah.
So,
and coming from one of the top players in the world, that means that just shows how strong NYXL are.
It's absolutely insane.
Yeah,
and
such a strong performance.
And they've not played bad teams the entire time either. So
no, so they've beat Valiant, Outlaws,
Boston, and Washington, but it's still not. There is no real. Well, I could say there's no real easy games, but they just made Houston look real easy. So
they really did.
I
don't know
insane.
who have they got this week. I haven't actually had a look.
This week.
I think they've only got one game though.
They
this
have
week.
Toronto.
Oh no, they've got
and
two.
Seoul.
Right.
So
the Toronto, both of those games would be pretty close because they're both of those teams are in top 8, aren't they? Yeah.
Yeah.
6th and 5th respectively.
Both of them are fairly bad times for Europeans as well. That feels bad, man. That feels bad.
I mean, the Sunday one isn't too. I guess it is actually because it starts a bit later this week.
Yeah. Well, the Sunday one starts at
12:30.
Yeah, 12:30 UK time, or 1:30 Monday morning. Central time.
I forgot you're in Europe land.
So by the time that finishes, it'll be 2:30, 3 in the morning, and then to get up for work that day, that's just not possible. But
yeah, oh well.
Were there any other standout matches for you?
I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Not really. They were pretty standard games, I think, this week. It was a good week. There was nothing over the top other than that Shanghai game.
Yep.
The rest were either one-sided or
Very
pretty
close.
standard.
Yep.
Yeah. What I do really like Hunters though. I'm starting to become a proper fan of Hunters because they're quite often not just running pure goats. They'll try DPS comps quite often, which is really nice to see.
Yeah.
See it straying a bit from like the meta.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's one to keep an eye on at least. I'll definitely try and catch more Hunters games.
Yeah.
And see what they come out with.
Although I feel like I need to make some sort of kind of apology to the charge, because I said in the very first episode when talking about the pre-season that I thought they weren't going to do well because they're going to have communication issues, they're a mismatch for team and blah blah blah.
Yeah,
I've sort of proved very wrong, haven't I? So they beat Dallas 4-0, and then they took Vancouver.
They took 2 games off the Titans.
Yeah, they took Vancouver to the 5th game.
Yep.
And that's.
And I think that the fifth one was close as well. It went to the 3rd point.
Very close. I think it was. It was pretty much down to one final team fight at the end.
Yeah.
So they were very, very close to winning. So I've been proven very wrong by them. Not mad.
They have. Yeah, it's been good.
So
definitely been good.
Looking forward into next week. Actually, hold up. No, because there's one thing I need to bring up about the Spark versus London.
Oh yes, I remember this.
Didn't catch the game, but I saw the horrific stat afterwards. One team fight. Obviously, goats versus goats. I can't remember how long the team fight lasted for. But 14 ultimates and 0 deaths. Are you serious?
That fight must have been so long to get 14 ultimates. So that's at least 2 Reinhardts each.
Yeah, there's like 2 Reinhardts, at least 2 Zarya grabs, and it's just really.
Yeah, it's everyone's ult once, and then another Reinhardt ult each.
Yeah.
So I think in a goats team that one charges quickest.
Yeah. It's just.
And there's Diva bombs in there as well, most likely. No kills from either Diva bombs.
Yeah. It's
mental.
It's so frustrating. I want it gone.
Yeah.
I want it gone.
Yeah.
So.
Hopefully you see more DPS comps.
Oh God, yes please. Yes please. But.
Alright. Should we move on to our predictions for next week?
I think we should.
We should just announce that last week we did our predictions and I got one more correct than I did the previous week. So I got 7 right, which was the London Charge NYXL, Paris, Vancouver, London NYXL.
Yep.
And you got 9 again.
So
you haven't improved.
No.
I've improved.
Consistency is key, I think, with these. So
yeah.
first game, Washington against Philadelphia.
Let me have a quick look. Washington, Philly.
Yeah.
I think it's got to be Philly.
Yeah, I'd agree there. I can't see them messing it up against Washington. That's too big a stretch for me. Then, Seoul Dynasty against Boston Uprising.
Again, I'm going for Seoul. They look pretty strong.
Yeah.
They've only lost one game so far. So.
Do you know what? No, I'm changing. I'm going.
You're changing.
Fusion will be back. I'm hoping that Shanghai was a blip, and that Boston will be back to whatever it was they were doing before they lost last week.
Fair enough.
So, after that is Florida against the Charge. That's a Charge game for me.
Yeah, Charge have been playing the better Overwatch of the two, but Florida can just, as we saw last week, they can win games that they shouldn't.
Yeah, they can be a bit of the underdog.
So, but yeah, I'm saying Charge.
Then, after that, final Friday game.
Spark.
The final Friday game. San Francisco Shock.
Thursday night game.
Yes. Thursday night, Friday morning.
Yep.
Is Shock against the Spark. It's a Spark game for me, I think.
I think Shock. I've said Shock a lot though, and I've been wrong a lot.
Do you trust your gut? This could be the time they come good for you.
It could be. I still want to say Shock. So if they win, I'd be 2 for 2. Well, 2-2.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to say Shock. Even though finger guns.
The pink finger guns. But the Friday night, Saturday morning games, starting off with LA Gladiators against London. That could potentially be a good one.
It looks like it could be a good one on paper, yeah. But I can't not say London, unfortunately.
This is where I think my head's trying to tell me something, because I'm going Gladiators.
Okay.
I can.
We've only agreed on one so far, Sam.
Well, that's a good start.
Yeah.
Although I think we're going to agree on the next one of New York Excelsior against Toronto.
It'll be another good one. They're both strong teams, so this will be one of the highlight games. But definitely in YXL.
Yeah. Then a close game after that, I think, in Vancouver against the LA Valiant.
Vancouver haven't lost a game yet as well.
Yes.
They're 3 for 3.
But the Valiant haven't been doing bad.
No, but they also haven't won.
This is true. This is true.
I don't know.
They've always been within the games they've played. They've been within one game each time.
Yeah.
So
I know. But they haven't won one.
No.
And Titans are looking very strong.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Titans.
I'm going to say Titans, just for the sake of disagreement.
Just to go against me.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Then the big call here: Shanghai against the Hunters. Does Shanghai start a streak, or do they get shut down immediately?
Even though they won last week, I want them to rally behind it.
Yeah.
But I don't think I'm going to predict them.
I don't think they're going to do it either.
But I want them to.
Yeah, as much as I would like them to sort of have a good streak going.
I don't think they will.
No, I can see them being still at the bottom. Then,
this one would be an interesting one.
Yeah, this is another highlight one. Oh, it's a good European time as well. Thank you, Blizz.
The first game on Saturday for us.
Yep, Paris, Atlanta.
So Atlanta are 2 for 1.
Yeah.
Paris are 2 for 0.
Yeah.
We've seen more of Atlanta, and they look very scary.
They do look very scary, but Paris.
But then again, Paris probably have the best goats in the league.
It's tough. It's
debatably.
Tough.
Debatably. So,
see, part of me think go Europe. The other side, go to Fran.
yeah, I don't know. It kind of feels wrong to go against Atlanta, but I'm going to say Paris.
Good, because I'm going Atlanta. I'm not going against the Fran. I'm not doing it.
Okay.
With him till the end.
So this one could be interesting because both teams haven't been performing greatly.
No, Florida picked up a win against Philadelphia.
Florida's picked up a win, and Houston have won against someone, somewhere. I think it was week 1.
Washington, I think.
Maybe. I don't remember.
Oh no.
But either way, both teams are looking to
they beat
redeem
Spark
themselves
3-1.
here. Was it the Spark? That was it. Yeah.
Well, that.
So yeah, they've. I think. It's weird.
I think they have to bounce back. They have to.
Whichever team wins this it'll do that team really well.
Yeah.
I'm going to put down Outlaws.
Put down Outlaws
for the win. Yeah.
Oh wait, no, hang on. That's Houston. Derp. Yeah. That's an agreement with me. I think.
Okay.
After they sad tweeted it and everything, saying they got lost to learn, I think they have to come back strong. They've got no choice.
Yeah, they're going to have hit the training grounds hard.
Yeah.
I reckon this week.
Then a shock, not a shock. Yes, that's a shock against Washington. San Francisco against Washington.
I think you'd be a fool not to say shock.
Yeah, I have to say shock. I don't want to because I'm just gonna keep repeating my hatred for Sinatra, but I've got to side with him. Then
Shanghai and Fuel.
I'm going for Shanghai
I could see Shanghai doing this one.
I would love it if they lost to Shanghai. Oh, it'd be tasty. Please, Shanghai.
I could see it, and yeah, I've got a mild dislike for that team now.
Then after that, Boston versus Toronto.
Of the two teams, Toronto are definitely doing better right now.
Yeah. I think they're stronger as well.
So yeah, I think Toronto.
Yeah. Even though I picked Boston over Seoul, I don't see them doing it over Toronto. I don't.
Fair.
Then this could potentially be another close one. Spark against the Gladiators.
On this one, I'm going Spark. I think Spark will get that one. They're 2 for 2. If they I think you predicted them to win against Shock.
Mm-hmm.
So I think if they beat Shock, they'd beat Gladiators.
Yeah, I'm sticking with Gladiators. I feel like they're strong.
All right, okay.
So then, Valiant against the Charge. This is where
I want Valiant to win that.
Yeah.
Because I haven't predicted them to win against Titans, and at that point, if they haven't won against Titans, they'd be 0-4.
Yeah, I can see.
And I don't want them going 0-5.
No, I can sort of see if they beat the Titans, I can see them having the momentum, and if they lose the Titans, I can sort of see it being a kick up the ass.
To put them in gear.
Yeah, so I'm
I see that.
Going with Valiant again, and then the final game of the weekend, New York versus Seoul Dynasty. That's another easy answer for me.
It's a meaty one.
Yeah,
but
it's an immediate New York.
I don't think anyone can beat NYXL right now.
I want to be able to change my. Oh no, your overall prediction for champions NYXL. So you're looking good.
Yeah, but my stage 1 prediction was Philly.
Yeah, my stage 1 prediction was London, and overall was London. I'm not looking pretty.
Well, I mean, both of our predictions are mid-table, 8th and 9th.
Yeah.
For stage 1.
Yeah, so it could be worse.
And then you got to remember, for overall, there will be patches midway through.
Yeah.
That will throw the meta, such as a certain recent hero reveal.
Excellent segue to Baptiste, I think it's
I know,
pronounced.
I was proper smooth transition back, didn't I?
I think it's pronounced Baptiste. I'm pretty sure the P is
thought,
silent.
yeah,
When I went onto YouTube earlier and Googled.
Wait, the P is silent?
I'm pretty sure the P is silent.
I thought it was Baptiste.
You see, I went...
What did you say? Baptiste?
Baptiste. I'd almost like Batista from...
Fair enough.
Even though from wrestling or Marvel, but...
Someone said to me, it's like Jean-Claude Baptiste. I don't know what that means.
I don't even know who that is.
No, I didn't know who it was, but I was like, I don't know, maybe. It might be a reference that I'm missing. If you happen to know the reference and you're listening / watching right now, please put it down in the comments.
Yep.
So I can be made a fool of not knowing certain pop culture references.
Yep. But I will, for the sake of the viewer, singular viewer, I'll quickly segue in now. Cut in now. A little video of how to pronounce it.
Baptiste. Baptiste.
And that's how you pronounce it.
Okay, sweet.
But yeah. This is apparently, I think someone said this is meant to be the anti-goat support. Good luck with that.
Yeah, I can see it working against goats. However,
I can also very much see it working.
I can very easily see it fitting into goats, especially with that invulnerability thing.
It could very easily be an enabler, I think.
The invulnerability, what looks like a strong AoE heal.
Mm-hmm.
So it feels to me after the recent Brig nerfs, it's like you could just pull the Brig out and put him in.
Yep.
And your team would be fine. Yeah, it'd be better. He has the more mobility than Brig does.
Yeah.
He has a lot of utility. Yeah, minus the stun.
Mm-hmm.
But the stun had been nerfed a lot since it came out anyway.
Yeah.
So it just feels like take a Brigitte out, slot in a Baptiste instead, and I still think that you have a very strong composition there.
Yeah.
Still, obviously, he's got to go through testing. His numbers will be crunched and whatever.
Yeah,
but he's,
as is the way with Blizzard and PTR, it's very unlikely to get changed.
He might not get changed, as in his kit might not get changed, but his numbers will get adjusted.
Yeah.
And then, but you got to remember, not a lot of people who play on PTR give very important feedback.
Yeah.
So ultimately, they might have to wait till it hits live where people actually play it and start complaining.
Mm-hmm.
But I can see him working in non-GOATS compositions.
Yeah, which is nice for normal ladder.
Yeah. And his kit, as I say, his kit can work against the dive of a GOATS composition. Like the GOATS runs into you. Mm-hmm. Like you can just, if you position the drone correctly, like you can put the drone not necessarily right in the middle of a fight, and the area it creates is big enough so you can put it round a corner, for example, and you can have a Bastion sit behind it around a corner and shoot in, or just something. It gives them a bit more cover. Mm-hmm. And a downside of GOATS is that they, apart from the Zenyatta and the Lucio, they don't really have a huge amount of range.
Yeah.
So they have to go in and dive to get that drone down.
Yeah.
Which puts them into a position where you might have got that extra damage off and protection from that you needed.
Yep.
And his ultimate, that damage boosting wall, that looks scary.
That really does look truly terrifying, no matter who's behind it.
Yeah, so I'm just thinking Bastion's behind it, Junkrat's behind it, Pharah's behind it, Soldier's behind it,
Widow's behind it,
one-shotting Roadhogs.
Oh god.
It's like it.
And even even a Reinhardt with his 5-strike, he can one-shot people like Tracer now.
Yeah.
It's absolutely bizarre.
Well, 120 damage it does, right?
Yeah.
So it'll do 240 when it goes through.
Mm-hmm.
That's that's close to half of Roadhog's health.
Yeah. That's
okay. And if you put that up and a GOAT team's running at you.
Yeah.
If you can plow down enough damage to get that Rhine shield down before they get to you.
But at the same time, this could be nice, because it doubles the healing as well that gets put through it. So So if you have it,
so
if
even
you have it sat back
even if the Baptiste
ooh.
puts it down in front of him, and then starts shooting his team through it, in the middle of a team fight, that's looking like out damageable amounts of healing.
Just God, imagine that during the
pair it with a nano, not a nano, biotic grenade.
God.
So yeah,
imagine that in double sniper. Oof.
It hopefully, unfortunately, I feel it's going to lead to a Baptiste being on every team.
Yeah.
It's going to fit into a lot of compositions.
Mm-hmm. But hopefully it enables more.
But hopefully the point of it is it will lead to more compositions being made.
Yeah.
Which and given his mobility as well, like he can get up to high grounds and stuff and
really
keep up with his team's divas and things like that and Winstons,
so
which a lot of other healers can't do now.
Yeah, we could see a potential return of dive, which I suppose would be kind of nice.
Yeah.
Be a nice change.
It'd be interesting to see where it takes.
Yeah.
Because I'm not gonna lie, the last hero that got announced doesn't seem to have done anything to the game. At all.
Hammond's occasionally making a little bit of an appearance now.
Hammond, yeah, but have you seen an Ashe?
Oh yeah, it was Ashe, wasn't it?
It was Ashe. Exactly, you'd even forgotten.
Yeah, that's how memorable she is.
Yeah. I really like her design, and she's really good.
Yeah.
So even maybe pairing her with a Baptiste, you got to admit it's a really strong rifle she's got there.
Put that wall in front of Bob.
Put the wall in front of Bob. Holy crap!
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm personally looking forward to it. I always like new heroes.
Yeah.
It's a support. I'm a support main, self-proclaimed support main.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll try him out. I'd like to see where it goes.
Yeah.
Hopefully he spins the meta on its head.
Oh, God,
I'm really hoping it isn't what I predicted, and it's just going to swap the Brig out and put him in.
That'd be an absolute nightmare. Because it tends to be DPS plays on Briggs anyway, doesn't it?
Usually, yeah. And he is like a.
Soldier.
They're selling it as like a. If whoever needs it, a bullet or a bandage, something like that.
Yeah.
So. Yeah,
Gosh.
It'll be interesting to see.
But we won't see him till stage 2 in the league, unfortunately.
No.
At the earliest.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine by me, at least.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I believe that's all we have for this week. We said we tried to cut it down to 20, 30 minutes, and here we are again.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Just over 45.
It's what happens when you're passionate about a topic.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
right.
If you've been watching or listening and you've enjoyed it, or if you agree, disagree with us, leave a comment, subscribe, please. We're trying to grow.
Don't forget you can dislike if you did dislike the video. We're fine with honest feedback like that.
Yeah, but if you do dislike, at least leave us a comment why.
Yep, so we can improve for you and for us.
Exactly.
Yep.
But I've been Sam.
And I've been Owen.
Thank you very much for listening. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.